Hello beautiful people, my name is Flame Bruce. I'm a music producer and also a poultry farmer. I'm the manager and CEO of Ete Foods and Agro Allied Industry Limited. This company name long. Okay. In today's video is a part 2 of the how to build a poultry pen comfortable for your birds and that will also help for high profitability. So in the previous video, I talked about how your structure is supposed to look like, because there's no rule of thumb of how a poultry farm is supposed to look like, but there are points and things that you need to consider while putting up your structure to better make your poultry farm to be a successful one. Because your housing format is going to determine how comfortable your birds are, because the comfortability of your birds will also help for profitability. It will help your birds to grow better and to lay better eggs. So in today's video, I'm talking about the spacing and also the kind of materials you need to use for your housing. So let's get right onto it. So about the materials that you need to use for your poultry pen housing, you need to use wire mesh. That is very common in your area, because I know different countries and different areas have kind of wire mesh materials that are common, and iron sheets nets that are also common within their region. So go out. I will encourage you to also visit some other farms, but in a situation whereby you cannot visit farms, when you get to any building material shop or store online, you look out for wire mesh materials that are big and not too big to allow birds and reptiles to come into your pen. And while you're putting up your structure, make sure that the wire mesh runs from the wall level at the top to the top close to the roof, so that external birds and wild birds do not come into your pen, because these things are dangerous to your birds, because they might bring in diseases and also feast on the feed of the birds and also cause harm to your birds. Because if you're running an animal farm, biosecurity is very paramount. So you try to make sure that other animals do not get into your pen, so that they don't cause harm to your birds. So about the materials, aside from the wire mesh, you can either use wooden poles or iron poles, depending on what is common in your area. So aside from watching this video, I also encourage you to go to farmers around your region to also look out for what is common within your area and your locality and get for them, because using materials that are common in your locality will really help you to cut down costs. So the next thing I'll be talking about is the spacing. The spacing of your beds, as in when I'm talking about the capacity of beds that your farm can carry. If you are doing a deep litter system, you need to put this into consideration. Let me use, for instance, I am in the coastal region of Nigeria. The weather is pretty hot sometimes of the year, because right now it's a serious climate change, so the weather is very hot. Like you can see, it's a very sunny afternoon out there. When the birds are panting, they are panting seriously because of the heat stress. So spacing is a very critical thing that you need to put into consideration. So for instance, if you are doing 100 beds for small scale farmers, if you are doing 100 beds, the dimension of your pen should be within 16 to 10 feet. That's 16 feet for the length, then the breadth should be 10 feet. So with this dimension, it can carry 100 beds. Let's say beds that they're going to keep in your farm within 5 to 7 weeks. If you're doing rows 380, it's expected that you keep your beds in the farm not more than 6 weeks. So if you're keeping beds within this age period, so a pen of 16 by 10 can carry them comfortably. So but if you're keeping them longer than that, you need to make sure that you drop the numbers of beds. So times of the year when the weather is really hot, I will encourage you to reduce the numbers to 80 beds in a pen that will run them for 16 by 10. Reasons why: because when the times of year is when it's really hot, they need more spacing for more aeration. So when your beds have more space, it will also help them when the weather is too hot too. So if you're doing a bigger pen, you just do the math. If 100 beds if 16 by 10 pen can carry 100 beds, so if you're doing a pen of about 500 beds, so you just need to do the multiplication and just do the math and come up with a figure that will be best for you based on my calculation for 100 beds. So you need to put these points into consideration while you're setting up your pen. And that's why I always encourage people to use the nipple drinker, because with the nipple drinker system it can carry more beds, because if you're using the conventional 4 liters drinkers, those stuff also occupy space in your pen. So if you're using a nipple drinker, it also helps to reduce the space, because underneath the nipple drinkers the beds can still pass through, it can still run through. Because I'll use, for instance, when the beds get lighting in time of the day, maybe after light out for about 2 hours, whenever they get the bright light, they tend to run around and flap their wings. So if the space is too tight, they'll not be able to do that properly. They might jam themselves in the process. So giving them enough space will help them, and using nipple drinker will also help them a long way. So I always encourage farmers to use the right tools, the right equipment to help them reduce the stress on themselves, because gone are the days that farmers will be doing farming and it will be stressing them, because in Africa farming has been something that's been neglected by the young people because of the stress accompanied with it. Because most of the farmers around here have been doing farming practices the very old way that are very stressful. So use nipple drinkers and the right feeders that can carry feed for a long period of time without waste and spillage. That will also help your birds to grow well and also reduce stress on yourself. Because I bet you, poultry farming can be done as a side hustle, even on large quantity, as a side hustle without stressing yourself, and you make profit from it. So it depends on the right kind of tools you're using. So I will encourage you to use the informations on my videos, learn from them, implement them, and definitely you will have some huge success in your poultry farming business. So if you're new to this channel, I'll encourage you to just smash the subscription button so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll get to see them as quick as possible. And watching this far, I believe that you like what you're saying. Just smash the like button to also encourage this channel to grow faster and reach out to more audience. Thanks for watching this far, and I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.